Good morning students. I am Dr. Rekha, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, GTN Arts College, Dindigul. Today I am start with very easy, interesting and important chapter, that is Underwriting of Shares and Debentures. Before I proceed the accounting concept of this chapter, I think you know very well about the corporate accounting. Corporate accounting important one is underwriting. Okay. So before that, basically I believe you know very well about the theoretical concept. It will help to support to work out the sum in a proper way. So in any accounting topic, you have to learn theoretical concept. Okay. Now I start the underwriting definition. Okay. So what's mean by underwriting? Underwriting may be defined as a contract entered into by the company with person or institution called underwriters, who undertake to take up the whole or the portion of the such offered shares or debentures as may not be subscribed for by the public in consideration of a remuneration called underwriting commission. So the definition defined by the Institute of Company Secretaries of India. I think I give a simple meaning of underwriting. So underwriting is a contract between company and underwriter. So what's mean by contract? The agreement between the two persons. The two persons here, company and the underwriter. Okay. So the underwriter, what done the work here? Underwriter is a person or institution that guarantees or agrees to take up the shares of debentures of a company which are not subscribed by the public. Once again repeat the same. Those shares or debentures not subscribed by the public, the underwriters taken over or agrees to guarantee given to the company, that is called as a underwriting. The particular person working the work considered as a underwriter. The underwriter receive a commission for that. Under the Companies Act 2013, 5% should not exceed 5% of shares, 2.5% of debentures or article trades, whichever is less, received as a commission of the underwriter. Okay. I hope that you know very well about the underwriting, underwriter commission. Okay. Underwriting means contract between two persons. The two persons are company and underwriter. The underwriter may be an individual person or institution. Those shares or debentures not subscribed by the public, the underwriters taken over. Okay. At the same time, receive a commission for do their work. I hope that next we are going to see the types of underwriting. The underwriting divided into two categories. First one is a pure underwriting and then second one is a firm underwriting. So what's mean by pure underwriting? So the pure underwriting means the liability of an underwriter is purely contingent. Okay. The liability of an underwriter is purely contingent. So contingent means may or may not. That is considered as a contingent. Okay. Then what's mean by firm underwriting? So firm underwriting means partly definite, partly contingent. Okay. So first one is a pure, then second one is a firm underwriting. The pure underwriting are subdivided in two categories. That is in a complete underwriting and partial underwriting. You know very well about the meaning of complete as well as the partial. So complete means the underwriter undertakes the entire issue of shares. The whole issue of debentures taken over by the underwriter, that is considered as a complete. Okay. I will give one example for that. If the company issue 10,000 shares, particularly one underwriter taken over or guarantees given the whole issue of shares, that is called as a complete underwriting. The complete underwriting are divided into two categories. First one is a one single underwriter, the second one is a two or more underwriters. So what's mean by single underwriters? So the complete underwriting taken over by individual underwriter, that is considered as a one single underwriter. For example, I will give a same example for that. Company issue 10,000 shares, the X undertaken the whole shares, that is called as a complete underwriting, that is in a one single underwriter. So more than one single underwriter means the company issued 10,000 shares, A taken over 40%, B taken over 40%, and C taken over remaining 20% of the shares. So 40 plus 40 plus 20, 100% of the shares taken over by the more than one underwriter. That is called as a more than one underwriters in a complete. The same way go to the partial underwriting. So partial means underwriting of shares one portion, a certain percentage. That is called as a partial underwriting. I will give the same example for that. 10,000 shares issued by the company, only 7,000 shares taken over by the underwriter, maybe an individual or in a more than one underwriter. So what about the remaining 3,000 shares? The 3,000 shares taken over by the company. So the company considered as a underwriter. Okay. Once again repeat the same types of underwriting. First one is a firm, second one is a pure. Firm means partly definite, partly fixed. Okay. Then purely underwriting means it's contingent. Okay. So complete underwriting means whole issue of shares. Partly means one of the portion or certain percentage. At the same way in the one single underwriter and more than one single underwriter. I hope you have a thorough knowledge about the types of underwriting. Next we are going to see the very important, that is in a marked application and unmarked application. What does mean that? Only you know about what's mean by marked application and unmarked application. That you will be able to work out the problem correct way. Even though every some information given for the marked and unmarked application. Depends upon the marked and unmarked application, the liability will be assigned. Okay. So what's mean by marked application? Okay. It's a very simple, it's a very easy to set in our mind. Okay. See here, application forms received by the company. The application forms received by the company with any marking, any symbol or signature of the underwriter. If it is you given an application, you mention in your name or in a signature or in a stamp. Anything else, identification of the underwriter. Do you understand? Marked application means the application forms received by the company, any symbol, any signature or any word identified by the underwriter. There is no common format for that. Okay. That is in a marked application. Then second one is a unmarked application. The form is very empty. Example, the application forms received by the underwriter without any name, without any symbol, without any signature. That is considered as a unmarked application. It's very repeated question arising in the examination. What's mean by mark as well as what's mean by unmarked application. Marked means mentioned any symbol, signature or any sign in the form. That is in a marked. Unmarked means there is no symbol, there is no signature, there is no any identification. That is called as a unmarked application. Okay. Shall we move the next? That is method of calculation of net liability of an underwriter. It's a very important, it's a sum. It's a important calculation of liability of underwriters. There are two methods here. The first one is a gross liability method. The second one is a remaining liability method. The whole issue of shares underwritten, there is no liability for that. If the underwriter given a guarantee below the number of shares, net liability or arise. How it is calculated? I will give a format for both the methods. First one is a gross liability basis. It's very simple. Only 3 steps to be followed to work out the net liability of an underwriter. So first one, you should mention the gross liability of each underwriter already given in the sum. There is no problem for that. Just posting the particular column, that is in a number of shares. If it is mentioned in our sum, ABC, mention ABC here. First of all, gross liability of each underwriter. Okay. The second step is, let's deduct the unmarked application. Unmarked application in the ratio of gross liability. It's a very important one. Each liability of underwriter's gross liability given in the sum, the same ratio followed in the unmarked application. Already I mentioned what is mean by marked application, what's mean by unmarked application. Okay. then got the balance. After that deduct the market application specifically given in the sum. There is no problem for that. Just to proceed it and deduct, got the answer of net liability of an underwriter. Once again I am repeat the same. It's a very important. It's easily score the mark in the particular chapter or particular topic. First you should write the gross liability of underwriter less unmarked application. After that less market application, got the net liability of underwriters. Okay. Then next we are going to see the remaining liability of an underwriter. Okay. So what's the format of remaining liability of underwriters? Okay. The only one difference between the gross liability as well as remaining liability basis. Okay. So first you should write the gross liability of underwriter. First to deduct the marked application. In a gross liability, first to deduct the unmarked application. Here first less the marked application, after that deduct the unmarked application as they are remaining liability basis ratio. It's a very important one. Depends upon the ratio, the liability will be assigned. Okay. Once again repeat the remaining liability basis. First one, write the gross liability of each underwriter less marked application. After that less unmarked application, you got the net liability of an underwriter. Okay. Let me see the small one example sum. Okay. It's a very easy to calculate. I will give explanation only in 2 minutes. Okay. See the sum properly. If you understand the sum well, it will give the proper solution in every sum. So see the sum, a company issued 10,000 shares of rupees 10 each. The shares were underwritten as follows: A 7,000 shares and B 3,000 shares. So first you should calculate, it's a complete underwriting or in a partial underwriting. It's a complete underwriting. Issue of shares 10,000, the underwritten by the A and B, 7,000 plus 3,000, 10,000 shares. Already I mentioned in the theory portion. Okay. So what's mean by complete as well as partial. Okay. Then see the next slide ma. The public applied for only 8,000 shares. At the same time, which include market application of A 5,000 shares and B 2,000 shares. Calculate the net liability under both the methods. What's both the methods? Gross liability as well as remaining liability. Once again, I am repeat the content of the sum only. Total shares issued 10,000, public offered only 8,000 shares, then marked only 7,000. Okay, you know very well about the statement of preparation of net liability. First you should work out the workings. After that go to the format. Okay. It's a very easy. It will give the answer in a working notes alone. Okay. So first one, shares issued by the company 10,000 shares less application received 8,000 shares. So net liability as a 2,000 shares. At the end of the statement, you got answer 2,000. If it is come under the 2,000, the answer will be the correct. Okay. So how many applications issued? How many applications received? Remaining as a liability. Net liability of an underwriter. After that you should calculate the how much marked application and unmarked application. Okay. Marked application already given in this sum. A 5,000, B 2,000. Total received 8,000. Marked application as a 7,000. So remaining as a unmarked application. 8,000 minus 7,000, 1,000 as a unmarked application. You should understand the workings ma. It's a very important. It is understood it very well to prepare the statement. Okay. So first one, under the gross liability basis, we should provide the heading properly. Statement showing liability of underwriters. The first column as a particulars, and then second, third column as per the underwriter, as per the sum mentioned in the name. Here enter the name. As per the sum A and B, here also A and B. The last column is a total, default, all are provide the particular column. Okay. So first you should write the gross liability. A 7,000 shares and then B 3,000 shares, totally 10,000. Under the gross liability method, first you should deduct the unmarked application 1,000. How it is identified the 7:3 ratio? As per the gross liability ratio. 7,000 is to 3,000 are simplified in a 7 is to 3. So 1,000 shares, 700, 300 totally as a 1,000. So how it is a balance? 6,300 for A, 2,700 for B as a total of 9,000 shares. After that, deduct the marked application. It is very clearly mentioned in the sum, A 5,000, B 2,000, so totally as a 7,000 shares. So net liability of the underwriters 1,300 shares, 700 shares, after that last is a 2,000. Already we are calculated in the workings. Okay, how much is net liability? 2,000. Here are the total of 2,000. The answer is correct. Easily verify. Okay, we will discuss the next method in a next video. Thank you so much, students.